we are in gay Paris. Her ladyship had had an urgent call from one of her highfalutin friends, Sir Jeremy Hodge. It seems that one of his scientific colleagues had disappeared on a monorail trip to Hyderabad. Sir Jeremy knew of her ladyship's activities outside the social world, as he was one of the people who helped Mr. Jeff Tracy form the International Rescue Organisation. While her ladyship and Sir Jeremy were sitting talking, I noticed a very dodgy-looking foreign geezer at the next table. When this geezer stopped the waiter who was bringing the drinks ordered by Sir Jeremy, then I really got interested.
Oh, well, down the hatch.
Drink. Beg pardon, milady, but the drink was drugged.
Oh, I am so sorry, madam. I had no idea. The gentleman asked me for a light, and he must have put something in your glass when my eyes were blinded by the flame.
Oh, dear, how tiresome. It looks such a pretty Perno, too. Any sign of him?
Not a dashed thing, Penelope.
I'm afraid he gave us the slip, milady.
It looks as if he's left something behind.
Right there on the table was an unusual book of matches with a special crest on the cover.
I don't think I recognize the crest. Do you, Sir Jeremy?
Afraid not, old girl. But we could pop along to the heraldic archives and look it up.
Yes, we can go in the morning. Sir Jeremy, perhaps now you would be so good as to escort me back to my hotel. You'd better tell me what this is all about. First of all, you are certain that Professor Borrender travelled on that train?
Absolutely. I saw him off at the station myself, but the attendant on the train swears that I'm mistaken and that no one of that name travelled.
Can you think of any reason why the professor should disappear like this?
One excellent reason. For the past year, he and I have been engaged on experiments with seawater. But Professor Borrender and I have just perfected a method of converting seawater into fuel. But to convert water into fuel is a very delicate process and can be performed only with the facilities that the professor and I have devised. In the wrong hands, this process could contaminate the oceans of the world.
And the consequences to mankind could be pretty terrifying. Now I understand your precautions.
I don't think you do. Not completely. You remember the launch last week of the new Sun Probe rocket?
Don't tell me that rocket was launched on your new fuel.
It was indeed. So apart from the dangers I've mentioned, it's possible that the discovery could upset the balance of power and start a world war.
International Rescue owes you a great debt, Sir Jeremy. We are at your service. What would you like us to do?
You must help me find the professor, dear lady.
Of course, and we've got to work fast. We're up against men who will stop at nothing. I shall require information about Professor Borrender and the recent conference at Paris. Sir Jeremy and I are taking the night train to Ahmedabad tomorrow.
Think you'll need any help?
Not till we get to Ahmedabad. We just want to make a few investigations on the train. We'll be playing it pretty cool.
Okay, Penny. I'll send Virgil with Thunderbird 2 and the equipment I think you might need. He'll meet you at Ahmedabad.
Very well then, Jeff. Over and out.
The next day, I drove her ladyship and Sir Jeremy along to the heraldic archives place.
Yes, a most interesting heraldic device. Yes, I think you've come to the right place. If you go down to our lower vaults, you'll find what you're looking for.
Capital. And where might they be?
Down these steps, monsieur.
Apparently, the geezer in charge of the archives place was most cooperative. He directed her ladyship and Sir Jeremy down into the vaults, where there were hundreds of books and centuries of dust to keep them company. But the geezer at the archives wasn't all he seemed to be.
Not very friendly, what?
Hush. Listen.
By Jove, it's gas.
And not a window in the place. A very clever way of disposing of us.
By Jove, the gas is simply pouring into the room.
Never mind, Sir Jeremy. Parker will have us out of here in no time.
I say, open this door at once. We're British.
Come in, Parker. Come in, Parker. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Keep a lookout for a stranger leaving the building, probably wearing a green jacket.
Yes, milady. He's just leaving the building. Going in pursuit now.
No, Parker. I think you'd better come and get us out of this dungeon first.
It's no use. We're well and truly trapped.
In answer to her ladyship's call for help, I fired the harpoons concealed in the back of the car and pulled the door from its hinges.
Just in time. Are you all right, Penelope?
Yes, perfectly. I knew Parker wouldn't let us down.
Sorry to keep you waiting, milady.
Next step is to get to Thunderbird. Come, Sir Jeremy. You and I have a train to catch. Parker, how are you progressing?
Oh, very well, milady. I'm keeping well up the schedule.
We've interviewed Professor Borender's attendant, but he's too frightened to tell us anything. Anyway, he's disappeared since dinner. Well, I shall be retiring for the night now, Parker.
Very good, milady. I trust you have everything you require.
Well, I must admit, I miss my usual cup of cocoa.
I did anticipate that, milady. So I slipped an up flask of your favorite brand in the foot of your hat box.
Thank you, Parker. Good night, then.
Good night, milady.
Go ahead, Virgil. How's it going?
All according to plan, Father. We should be arriving at Thunderbird 1 hour after dawn, taking up position on Hill GF0. Parker tells me that Penelope is settled down for the night, and he's now proceeding to Thunderbird ahead of the train. He expects to arrive soon after we do, and will later pick up Penelope at the station.
Good. Well, I don't think much else can happen before that train gets into Thunderbird.
As her ladyship was settling down for the night, she was disturbed by someone trying the door of her compartment. Luckily, she'd taken the precaution of locking it on the inside. She saw a shadow under the door and got up to investigate. She was just in time to see a white-coated attendant disappear round the corner at the end of the coach. She then roused Sir Jeremy.
What's the matter?
Someone's been listening at my door. Come along quietly so as not to waken the other passengers.
As her ladyship and Sir Jeremy entered the baggage car, they disturbed a stranger near their luggage.
Good evening, madame. Can I help you?
Well, we are looking for our attendant. We haven't seen him since dinner.
I am your new attendant, madame. I shall be taking care of you for the second half of the journey.
Then what did you want with my suitcase?
I was merely ascertaining which passengers would be getting off at Thunderbird. Alfred was very careless. He forgot to leave me a passenger list. Well, madame, monsieur, if there are no more questions, I shall bid you good night.
Now, where have I heard that voice before?
Wait. I think Parker may be able to tell you. Leave your monitor switched to telecall. Sir Jeremy is going to engage his new attendant in conversation. I want you to tell me if this is the man you saw leaving the archives in Paris.
Very good, milady.
You rang, monsieur?
Yes, that's right. I'd like to order my breakfast for the morning. I want, orange juice, cereal with plenty of sugar, some eggs and bacon, and, some strong coffee and cream. Is that quite clear?
Perfectly, monsieur.
Well,
That's him, milady.
something's happening. There must have been a power failure.
You are right, Lady Penelope. There has indeed been a power failure. Now come with me, please. Quickly.
Go ahead, Virgil.
Father, Lady Penelope's train is at a breakdown in the middle of the Thunderbird tunnel.
Right, Virgil. Better stand by with the monobrake.
Yes, Father.
But surely Penelope would have radioed in if there had been any trouble.
Tin-Tin, that Thunderbird tunnel goes straight under the Alpine belt. No radio waves can penetrate that far.
Father, the train is now coming to Thunderbird, and Parker has confirmed that Lady Penelope and Sir Jeremy are not on it.
Not on it?
Did he find out where the breakdown took place?
Yes, 17 miles from Thunderbird.
Right. You'd better go find them.
At their father's command, the Tracy brothers swung into action. Virgil and Gordon had loaded the monobrake, an odd-looking contraption, very low slung and wide, running on caterpillar tracks. Stuck on the top was a big telescopic arm that could be attached to the overhead monorail, which would then give the machine greater speed. While all this was going on, Her Ladyship and Sir Jeremy had been taken to the Crook's hideout, halfway through the tunnel.
Well, now that you've got us here, what do you intend to do with us?
First of all, welcome to my little subterranean headquarters. From here, I can control all the traffic in the Thunderbird tunnel. My colleague has only to switch off the current, and the transcontinental rocket is thrown out of action. A useful little trick, but a dangerous one if used too often.
I suppose this is how you kidnapped Professor Borrender, too.
Precisely. When I saw that you suspected me, I was greatly tempted to hurl you both from the train as I disposed of that stupid attendant Alfred. But you will be much more useful to me here.
Just then, another geezer entered with Sir Jeremy's missing friend.
Professor Borrender, thank heaven you're safe.
Sir Jeremy, how on earth did you find me?
Borrender, who is this blackguard?
Forgive me, Sir Jeremy. I am Dr. Godber. You no doubt have never heard of me, but I know much about you. and the fascinating discovery that you have made, along with Professor Warner.
He was present at the Paris conference last week and knows about our experiments.
The conversion of seawater into fuel. A brilliant achievement, gentlemen, and one which I intend to make use of.
You will never get us to tell you the formula. Never.
With you I have so far failed, Professor. But I think that now I have captured the lovely Lady Penelope, I can make you and Sir Jeremy talk. All right, Roach, lower the ladder.
While this Dr. Godber geezer had been nattering, Roach, his assistant, had tied her ladyship to a ladder, which he now lowered into the path of the train.
You barbaric fiend! Now, all we have to do is wait for the express to pass. I think it should be entering the tunnel in about 9 minutes.
Hey, there's another one.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of these ventilation shafts.
Do you think we ought to take a look in these as well?
Now, let's keep going.
Listen, Godber. Even if we told you our conversion formula, it would be useless to you without the equipment we've assembled in Paris.
I shall worry about that later.
Our experiments are still in the early stages. You heard me say this at the conference. One little mistake could pollute the waters of the sea.
And subject the whole of mankind to the most appalling consequences. You're asking us to risk too much, Godber.
Enough! How long now till the express train enters the tunnel?
That's 6 minutes, Doctor.
Hello, Father. Still no sign of Virgil and Gordon. Or anyone.
All right, Alan. Be patient.
Tell you what, Father. I'll just get onto my hover bike and mosey up that tunnel.
No, Alan. You're needed where you are. We can't risk any more lives. The express will be there in a couple of minutes.
Express now in the tunnel.
Look here, Godber. You must stop this train. Cut the power and we'll talk the whole thing over.
Certainly, Sir Jeremy. You have only to tell me your formula, and I shall willingly cut the power.
Cut the engine. Can you hear anything?
Must be the express. It's funny how the echo brings it nearer.
Right. Let's see what's round that bend.
As they rounded the bend, they spotted her ladyship's predicament. Carefully, they crept nearer.
I shall have to turn out the lights so that no one sees us from the train. They may catch a glimpse of Lady Penelope, of course, but by then it will be too late to stop.
For the last time, Godber, won't you listen to reason? The fuel conversion formula would be useless to you. Now cut this poor girl down and we'll explain the whole thing to you in our laboratory in Paris.
2 minutes.
Virgil and Gordon had a tricky job to do. Their timing had to be really perfect so that they could rescue all 3 people before Godber and Co. could harm them.
Godber, we implore you, spare this young girl.
It's too late. My plan has failed. I shall have to leave Lady Penelope to her fate.
The first shot cut through the rope holding the ladder, and Virgil quickly released her ladyship after breaking her fall, while Gordon kept Godber and Roach busy with a hail of gunfire.
Roach, stop the train. Stop the train.
Godber helped him a bit here, as he shot Roach himself when he thought he was going to cut off the power supply and stop the train before it hit her ladyship. In shooting Roach, he also put the power control panel out of action.
That
Please, we can't stop the train.
Get up and come over here with your back to me. Move! Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds to throw your gun down and come out with your hands up. 5 seconds. Throw down your gun or the professor will be pushed in front of the express. 4, 3, 2.
Gordon shot Godber's gun out of his hand with just seconds to spare.
Here she comes.
Well, they made it. It was all over. Sighs of relief all round, I can tell you. I was never so pleased as to get away from the place. We had a bit of a celebration in Paris to round it all off. But somehow, I don't think her ladyship will find the continent quite the same ever again after her experiences on this particular trip.
Hello again. Brain speaking. I guess we'll never really be free of pirates, will we? Ever since the day of the original pirates, those fearsome characters that plundered ships on the high seas, we've seen them in one form or another. There were the radio pirates that took advantage of coastal limits to broadcast pop music and advertise. But let me tell you of the time International Rescue became involved with one. A pirate telecast satellite. It all began...
Well, folks, that's just about it for today. Don't forget to focus in tomorrow for another non-stop, gagging, glorious, ginormous session with yours truly, Ricochet. And remember, all the way with KLA.
Isn't he just minty?
I can't see anything in him myself. How about you, Brains?
I'm afraid music in the modern idiom is too repetitive for my taste. But I must admit the rhythm has a certain hypnotic effect.
You're just jealous.
Jealous? Why should I be jealous of that clown?
Now, wait a minute. I think you're all overlooking one important point. Those TV casts are coming from an unauthorized satellite, a pirate.
Oh, what harm does it do, Mr. Tracy?
It's more than harmful, Tin-Tin. It's dangerous. The many satellites orbiting the world travel in an exact internationally controlled path. But that TV station is not controlled. It's a menace. And it could cause a very serious accident.
For the last time, Loman, it's Rick O'Shea. Got it?
Yeah, I've got it, as you so quaintly put it.
Well, you loused it up twice during the last session.
I doubt if anyone was foolish enough to be tuned in.
Very funny. How I ever got landed with a guy like you, I'll never know.
The feeling's mutual, I assure you. Back on Earth, preparations were in the final stage for the launching of a Sentinel communication satellite.
-180 seconds. -120, 1, 2,
Oh, Power, just a quick word.
Oh, hello, Professor.
Your transfer to area control has come through.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I'll be sorry to leave here.
I understand, Power. Automated launchings can be very boring.
-60 seconds.
Well, may I wish you the very best of luck for the future.
Thank you, Professor.
-10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, everything here seems under control. I'll see you again before you leave.
Fine. Thank you again, Professor. Professor, emergency.
What's wrong?
I'll get a computer readout. The second stage has failed to separate.
It looks bad. Switch to manual control. Contact ISC for clearance. I can't take a chance. We'll have to abort.
International Space Control. Calling International Space Control. This is Sentinel Base. International Space Control, come in, please.
International Space Control, go ahead.
This is Sentinel Base. We have a stage failure on a Telsat 4. Request clearance to destroy.
We'll calculate clear station and inform you. Out.
Don't look so unhappy, Power. There's nothing we can do until they give us the data.
It's just that it's the first one I've lost.
These things happen. That's why we have ISC.
Yeah, it's a good system.
If they didn't give us confirmation, there's every danger of destroying another satellite. But with a complete record, international control can allocate an area in space clear of all other orbits.
That's it. That's great. I got it. Hey, Loman, how high do we orbit?
Perigee 120.5 miles, apogee 140.2.
Average 128, okay?
Nearer 130.
Well, what's a mile or so? Listen, the station looks great. From 128. Get it? 128 miles. What do you think?
Fantastic.
International Space Control to Sentinel Base.
Here it comes. Sentinel Base. Go ahead, ISC.
Here's the information you requested. Deceleration and gravipull have been taken into account. Trajectory 0.89 per minute. Time 1 minute 07 seconds. Area reference A4. Destruction altitude 128 miles. Repeat, 128 miles.
Information understood. Thank you, ISC. Out.
Set detonation for 52 seconds, 128 miles.
All set. Detonation minus 38 seconds.
The station that's great from 128.
10 seconds.
Detonate. Everyone becomes involved in a bad launch. Don't blame yourself, Power.
I just wish my last one from here hadn't turned out this way.
Well, there's one consolation. No lives were endangered.
The professor was wrong. But fortunately, O'Shea and Holman were only stunned.
O'Shea, you all right? O'Shea!
Over here.
Are you hurt?
No, I'm okay. What happened?
I don't know.
Was it a meteorite?
No, it was some sort of explosion. I'll have to check.
Look at it. What a mess.
This can be cleared up. The external damage is what worries me.
Oh, what a shambles.
You can't be thinking of carrying on as if nothing had happened.
Why not? As long as we're in one piece, the show goes on.
We could have been killed.
But we weren't. We telecast as scheduled.
I need more time to assess the damage.
You worry too much.
I still think I should go outside and take a look.
You can't. We're on the air in 2 minutes.
Now you listen to me. We're in serious trouble. We've moved in orbit. The explosion must have given us a slight deceleration.
Makes sense.
We're on a long, slow descent. Just as if we'd fired our retros.
You mean we're heading for the Earth?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll land. What's the problem? We're built for re-entry. We had to come down sometime anyway.
Not without breaking parachutes. Look.
So?
So there's nothing to slow us down. We're heading for re-entry and annihilation. I'll have to go outside. I should have done so in the first place.
Now, wait a minute, Loman.
I don't think you realize the seriousness of the situation.
All I know is I wouldn't go out there for a sack full of diamonds.
Someone's got to go.
And so, Holman stepped through into the airlock and climbed into his pressurized suit, ready for his walk in space.
Rather you than me. Closing airlock.
Open outer door.
As the outer door opened, he stepped through into space with only a thin lifeline to stop him from drifting away. Using his thruster pack, he began to examine the damage caused by the explosion. Most of it was minor. But then he found what he'd been dreading all along. The outer skin had been holed by the blast.
I'm at the damaged area. What can you see?
Loman, how is it?
Not good. I'm coming back for a laser.
Can you fix it?
I don't know. Maybe. Close the outer door.
Opening airlock. Hey, Loman, the door's jammed.
Try again.
It's not moving.
Keep trying.
It's no good.
O'Shea, you've got to get me out of here.
Maybe I can... Hey, Loman, tell me how to switch on for transmission.
Transmission?
Yeah, transmission. I'm going to put out a call for help.
You only need to switch on the power. It's all set up.
Fine. Hang on, old buddy.
Right.
This is station KLA. We're in real trouble and need help urgently.
Luckily, Tin-Tin, who was a keen fan of Ricochet, had tuned back in for the telecast.
Gotta keep trying. This is station KLA. This is an emergency call. We need assistance most urgently.
Will anyone Davis, please make contact. Come in, please. Anyone, please help us. We need help desperately.
Alan, come quickly. I think I have an assignment for international rescue.
Go ahead, Mr. Tracy. You have a direct radio link with O'Shea.
Thank you, Brains. This is International Rescue to Space Station KLA.
International rescue, wonderful. Loman's trapped and I can't understand the circuit. The door's jammed.
Take it easy, take it easy. Now tell me clearly and slowly what happened.
Well, there was some sort of explosion. Our space station was damaged.
Do you know the extent of the damage?
No, but Loman said something about being knocked out of orbit.
Can you give me any further details?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I see. Listen, Mr. O'Shea, stay tuned to this frequency. We'll be with you as fast as we can. Virgil, launch Thunderbird 2. You go with them, Brains.
Yes, Mr. Tracy.
Alan and Scott, take Thunderbird 3. Now, let's get those Thunderbirds flying.
Yes, sir.
Loman, can you hear me? Hang on, old buddy. Come on, he can't hold out much longer.
Thunderbird 3 to KLA. Over.
Thunderbird 3 to KLA.
KLA, hearing you loud and clear. How soon will you be here?
We're approximately 3 minutes away.
We'll be in visual contact any second.
Well, that must be it.
They're losing altitude. We'll have to work fast before they begin re-entry.
This is Thunderbird 3. We're going to come alongside. When we're in position, open the outer airlock door.
Right.
O'Shea, is Loman conscious?
No, he doesn't answer. He must have passed out. I'm going across. FAB, Ellen. He's in a bad way. I'm bringing him back.
Okay, Alan. You be careful.
Is he okay, Alan? Just about.
We're losing altitude every second. I estimate we'll re-enter Earth's atmosphere in about 4 minutes.
Okay, Scott. Tell O'Shea to get into a spacesuit. Loman will be all right. I'm going back to help O'Shea.
Right. Now listen carefully, O'Shea. Loman will recover. Put on a spacesuit.
We're going to get you out, and there isn't much time.
Listen, I won't be able to do it.
This time, as Alan crossed to the stricken pirate capsule, he took with him a portable laser cutter. It was the quickest method of releasing O'Shea, and time was rapidly running out.
No good. I can't do it.
I'm in the airlock. Make sure you have the spacesuit on correctly. I'm going to cut through the door.
ISC to International Rescue.
International Rescue receiving you 5x5.
We understand you are assisting Space Station KLA.
Right.
We have radar contact with the vehicle. It is now in a suborbital descent.
Well, don't worry, the men on board were transferred. We've been standing by.
I'm glad to hear it. But there's something else. The space station is heading for a direct hit on the oil installation at Abbendu.
Wow. Just about the biggest refinery in the Middle East.
That's right. The impact would cause widespread damage, and fire is a certainty.
Position understood. We'll do what we can. Out. Well, Brains, how do we do it?
I think we can tilt the spacecraft off course.
It's using Thunderbird 2 like a bumper car.
That's about it, Virgil.
Okay, Brains. Let's go.
Boy, I've seen some hair-raising flying in my time, but Virgil sure takes the biscuit. He used the giant Thunderbird, too, as though it were a fighter plane, until we were alongside the pirate capsule. Then came the tricky part.
It's not working, Brains. We'll just smash ourselves up.
With only the wing as a lever, he had to move the capsule off course. The danger was immense. It needed only one slip, and we would both have gone crashing to our deaths.
Steady, Virgil.
Time after time, Virgil tried to turn the capsule off course, but it wasn't working. We could see the refinery buildings below us shining in the sunlight. It looked as though we had failed. Then, with one final jolt...
You've done it, Virgil. Oh, okay. Level out.
The capsule went hurtling on and exploded harmlessly in the desert.
Whew. That was close. Let's go home.
We had a great reception back at base after that rescue. In fact, not long after our return, there was a request song played for us on the video. Tin-Tin had written to... Yeah, you guessed it. Ricochet. Back in business again. But this time, back on Earth. Cheerio for now.